esteemed viewers, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening. Depending on where you are watching us from, this is the Confab, an esteemed radio vision. Yes, we are located at Obokana Avenue in Elisha, Ocean State, Nigeria. Today, Nigeria is once again at a crossroad where authority, justice, and public trust collide. In the southeast, traders have taken their protests from the markets to the Niger Bridge, disrupting movement between Anambra State and Delta State. Governor Chidinma insists businesses must open on Mondays or face sanctions. While traders say their rights, safety, and livelihoods are being threatened. At the center of the tension is the unresolved sit-at-home crisis and the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, a situation that keeps spilling from politics in everyday economic life. At the same time, Kanu's legal battle has taken a new turn. His defense team says the striking out of emotion to transfer him changes nothing, dismissing the court process as procedural threat. It raises a troubling question. Can the court resolve this matter? Or has it gone beyond law into the realm of politics? Meanwhile, in Abuja, the Senate is debating amendment to the Electoral Act that could shape the 2027 elections. Real-time electronic transmission of results, tougher penalties for vote trading, vote buying, and stricter accountability for electoral officers are all on the table as we speak right now. But for many Nigerians, the real issue is trust. Can these reforms finally protect the vote, or are they coming too late? These stories are connected by one central issue, the widening gap between government decisions and public confidence. So this is our focus today on the Confab. Stay with us. I am Chidinma Abel, and I have with me
Ohunayo, Ajiboye.
Yes, we'll be doing this together on the Confab. Do well to join the conversation as well in the comment section. Follow us, drop your comment in the comment section, like and share. All right, we'll be starting with the very first story here that says, sit at home. Soludo shut 12 more markets as traders block Niger Bridge. And you know, of course, the Niger Bridge is connecting Anambra State and Delta State. So this is why we are bringing this here on the Confab, because it actually concerns the generality of Nigeria. Sorry. All right, traders protesting the temporary closure of the popular Onitsha main market yesterday blocked the ever-busy Niger Bridge that connects Asaba and other parts of Delta State with Anambra State and other southeast states. This came as Anambra State government of those that must open. Anambra State government of those that must open for business on Mondays or face 1 month total closure. This is even as Igbo Community Association, Abuja, has called on Governor Chidinma to reopen the Onitsha market to avoid the escalation of protests by the traders in the market, noting that the people of Onitsha were already taken to the streets in protest and the situation fast escalating. Now, yesterday, the aggrieved traders' action for hours disrupted vehicular and human movement from Asaba, Delta State to Anambra State, as travelers stayed in the gridlock that resulted from it for hours. Now, the gridlock on the ever-busy Niger Bridge also led to some travelers returning to Asaba for fear of possible attack if the protest turns violent. However, the traders conducted themselves well while chanting, "Soludo, show us the law," saying we must trade on Mondays. We have the right to trade any day we like. Government didn't fund us. Soludo, you are infringing on our right. Stop now. Why the selective closure of the market in Onitsha? Among so many things they were displaying yesterday. So many grievances, they were crying placards. Now, Vanguard visited the Niger Bridge head. The protesting traders said they decided to troop to the Niger Bridge head to occupy it, so the federal government will be informed about the injustice done to them and to remind it that the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu would make the return to market on Monday very, very difficult. This is why we are bringing it here, because these people are already calling the attention of the federal government. So it has gone beyond Anambra State to the federal level. Spokesman of the protesting traders, Mr. Sunday Okoli, said as far as Nnamdi Kanu was in detention, trading activities on Mondays will be extreme. you will agree with me that Soludo is not in agreement with this sit-at-home thing.
Yes, he's not. He's not in agreement
He's
with
not in
it.
agreement, and that's why he's pushing so hard to stop the whole
However,
thing.
however,
And then it's unfortunate. I don't know whether to say it's unfortunate. A lot of Igbo people have gotten used to the sit-at-home order, even though it has not. They are not traders themselves, but somehow they just find that sit-at-home order something exciting for them. It is a good way to stay at home. I mean, some people, there was a time they wanted to rule out that certain order in the East. And some people were like, oh my God, do you mean I'm not going to be enjoying my holidays on Mondays? So this is just the thing. They have mixed reactions. Some people welcome the idea while others are not in tune with it. So let's start with it. What's your idea of this whole thing? What's your thoughts on it, Ohunayo?
well, there's a lot of things going on right here. So, concerning the sit at home, I believe Solido is taking the wrong approach. You don't take the fight to the traders. You are affecting their business, their means of livelihood. Sit at home already incapacitates them for 24 hours. Now, sit at home is something that they cannot avoid because the government is not going to protect them if they get attacked by the hoodlums. By the hoodlums and the criminal elements who use this opportunity to attack people that go out for their daily business. We saw how schools were burnt, we saw people being attacked and all sorts of things. So now you are now saying that the traders should return to the market under which form of security? The last time that they returned to work when sit-at-home was being enforced, where was the government to protect those that were injured, those that were killed, those that were attacked? Where was the government to protect them? You don't beat a child and then tell the child how to cry. You didn't protect them, you didn't do nothing, and yet you want them to go.
The traders are in the middle between the state government and the hoodlums.
Yes. And it's not supposed to be. The government should be the one in the middle. The government should be taking the brunt of the attack for them. But now the government is now putting the pressure on them. Why? Why are you putting the pressure on the traders? They just want to do their business, make their money, and go back to their families. You can't guarantee them that. Yet you want them to go back to work by force. Now you're cutting off all other means of livelihood for them because you want to force them to go there on Monday. And now this is the funny thing about the sit-at-home that is being enforced in the East. It has not stopped productivity in the East. While it has put the East in a negative light, it has not stopped productivity. The rest of the days, Igbo people known for their hustling spirits, for their hardworking spirits, they still go to work and they work as if there's no tomorrow. So what are we now talking about? Governor Soludo is not enforcing law and order here. He's punishing struggling traders because of a political situation that's beyond their control. That's what he is doing. Thank you.
Okay, now that reminds me, when you were talking about these people sitting in between the government and the hoodlums. I remember an incident that happened some time ago when these traders opened their shops on Monday, and then there was a letter sent to them threatening them to lock up their shops. And the next Monday they were all scared. They locked up the shops. So actually you are very right on that, because they are afraid of being attacked by the hoodlums. And then this is the government also threatening them to open. Now, and
it's not supposed to be. The government should be the one to assure them, not just assure them, but actually take steps and measures to protect them, to ensure that they are not attacked. Because this is Nigeria, the government will assure them they will get attacked, and the government will say, it was unfortunate. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the government actually taking steps to make sure that they protect the traders. But you are not offering any of that. You have not done any of that. The traders have zero confidence in the government's capability to protect them from whether it is IPOB or ESN or whatever name they bear. I call them hoodlums because anyone that is attacking innocent people, even in the name of protesting, in the name of whatever, so far as you have started attacking people that have nothing to do with it and you have started damaging properties, you are a hoodlum. That's what you are. So these hoodlums, the government is not protecting the traders from hoodlums. They are not protecting innocent citizens from hoodlums. But yet, you are punishing innocent citizens because of the actions of hoodlums. Make it make sense.
Now, a lot of people have argued that this sit-at-home order on Mondays is taking the Southeast backward economically. What do you have to say with respect to that?
Of course,
agree with them?
Of course,
it's
to an extent, it is. But I mean, I'm still saying it that it does not affect production. The rest of the days of the week are still open for production. What the government should be doing is find a way to ensure that people can go back to work, not by punishing them, but by getting rid of the insecurity crisis itself. If that crisis is not sorted out, nobody has the confidence to go to work on Monday. Who is willing to risk their life and property? for a government that will not care, that will only say it was unfortunate, and you become a statistics in the news. Let's tell ourselves the truth here.
Okay, you have been talking about Soludo using the wrong approach. You are not against the enforcement, but you are against his approach. And you have also mentioned that he should be able to protect the people. Now, how do you want Soludo to go about it? What measures is he going to put in place to ensure the safety of the people? Why they, either observe the sit-at-home order or completely rule it out?
Well, one of the things Soludo needs to do is, first of all, there's a security network in Anambra State created by the state government.
Yes.
But unfortunately, what we have been seeing of the security network is that they have not been protecting people. Rather, they have been going about harassing people. First of all, he needs to call them to orders or scrap it and start from and go back to the drawing board and restart again. That's one. Secondly, the next thing Soludo needs to do is that the new security network that he establishes must be guided under strict rules and enforcement of those rules. Meaning they have just one duty, and the duty is to protect traders and everyone going about their daily business. Any side job that they do will lead to instant termination of whosoever is involved. When they are able to do that, traders will be able to trust them. The people will be able to trust the government. And aside from that, the government, Soludo has to work hand in hand with the federal government and the Nigerian armed forces to ensure that all the hoodlums are being tracked. Not this one that they will go and arrest innocent youths that know nothing and start tagging them IPOB as they've done before, which led to a massive disgrace of the police force not too long ago in Anambra State. That's not what we're saying. Track the real hoodlums and get them off the streets. Not that you start attacking people that are going about their daily business or innocent people trying to do their work. That is the best way to actually curb this issue.
Now, the protesters are calling on the federal government to come in to wade into the matter. How do you want the state or the federal government to do this?
The federal government can call Soludo to order. They can call him to order because what he is doing is against constitutional law. There's no power in the constitution that gives the governor the power to shut down people's source of livelihood for no reason. It's not a state of emergency. They are not under martial law. So he has no power to actually do that. So the federal government can call him to order. And that's why they're asking for the federal government's intervention, because this is going to cripple, Anambra State economically. Thank you.
All right. On a final note, what advice do you have for the protesters, the protesting traders in Anambra State right
Well,
now?
first of all, I would applaud the traders, the protesters, for what they have done. They didn't make it violent. They didn't destroy any public property. But I want to sound this note of warning. Very soon, some hoodlums and some rascally characters will try to take advantage of the protest to start misbehaving. Once you see such people, please endeavor to kick them as far away from you as possible. Like, if it's possible to beat them up. I'm not advocating violence, but if violence is needed so that such people will not take advantage of you. This is why I don't want to use reporting to constitutional authorities, because in the last protest that we saw, the last major protest we saw in the nation that was taken over by hoodlums and SARS, it was reported that it was our security forces that were even helping the hoodlums more. So to avoid stories that touch, if you need to get rid of them through violence, get rid of them. Don't allow them to take advantage of your protest. Your protest has been peaceful so far. It has been well organized. You are exercising your civic duties, but there will be some rascally elements that will try to take advantage. Watch out for them and ensure that they are not able to turn your protest on its head. That's the only advice I will give them.
All right, thank you so much, Ohunayo, Ajiboye. I believe you are enjoying the conversation so far. Please do well to leave a comment for us in the comment section. Let's know that you are enjoying it, and also like and share. This is the Confab. For those that just joined us, and we have been talking a lot about the ongoing protests in Anambra State with respect to the sit-at-home order. Now, moving ahead from that, we have another one that looks like this sit-at-home, because a mention was related to this. Now we have striking out of transfer motion changes nothing. Defense consortium. That's Kano striking out of transfer motion changes nothing. The defense leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kano, has said the striking out of the motion seeking to transfer Kano from the Sokoto Correctional Facility changes nothing insisting that his case has moved beyond the High Court. Kanu's global defense, in a statement signed by Jude Njoko, dismissed the ruling as a footnote in a failed process, arguing that the matter will be handled by the Court of Appeal. It accused the federal government of imposing a legal aid lawyer on him after allegedly creating conditions that denied him meaningful access to his chosen legal team. Now, the consortium described the court proceedings as procedural theater designed to generate headlines and distract what he termed fundamental defects in the judgment under appeal. According to the statement, the motion for transfer was necessitated by the need for Kanu to personally interface with the court registry and the Court of Appeal in Abuja to prepare his notice and record of appeal. It's noted that Kanu's relatives, associates, and legal consultants are all based in Abuja, making Sokoto about 700 kilometers away impractical. Now, Kanu had asked the court to order his transfer to a custodial facility within the court jurisdiction, or in the alternative to, facilities near Abuja, such as Suleja or Kefi, to enable him prosecute his appeal. The court had earlier declined to hear the motion on December 4, 2025, after Kanu's younger brother, Prince Emmanuel, attempted to move it, despite not being a legal practitioner. Now, the resuming hearing on Tuesday, Hassan applied to withdraw from the case, citing irreconcilable differences with Kanu. Now, this is where we are going.
Okay.
It accused the federal government of imposing a legal aid lawyer on him after allegedly, creating conditions that denied him meaningful access to his own chosen legal team. How do you justify the federal government action here?
Well,
what's your thoughts on it? I'm not saying you are justifying it. Okay.
Well, the alleged imposition of a legal aid or lawyer on someone who can clearly afford a lawyer, who can clearly afford a defense counsel, that strikes me as odd. It's weird. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. So if truly the federal government did that, then that is a clear sign of a miscarriage of justice already being perpetrated. It shouldn't be. There are lots of things that should not be, and this is one of them. You don't impose a legal aid on someone who already has lawyers, and he has proven that he has both the financial capacity and he has both the influence to get himself a lawyer of his own understanding. When the situation when you have a legal aid given to you, whether you want or not, and that is even in a case where you are not able to defend yourself in courts. When you don't have the ability, maybe you are not literate enough, or you are not sound enough, you're not cognitive enough, you are sick or something, where the government has to step in and provide you with a legal aid because someone has to represent you. But in Nnamdi Kanu's case, that's not what is going on. So I don't believe that the federal government has any right to impose a legal aid lawyer on him. And if this is true, then the federal government is already perpetrating a gross miscarriage of justice.
So would you describe this as some withdrawal of justice from Nnamdi Kanu?
No, it's not. It's not justice, because his reasons for applying for a transfer are actually very, very valid. And this is the thing.
Deny him access to his own personal legal aid.
And that is an injustice. It's a gross injustice. It is a very big injustice.
So would you at this point still say, considering Nigerian judicial system, say that the law is still the last hope of the common man?
The law has really stopped being the last hope of the common man for a long time, but it doesn't mean that we don't have good eggs in the judicial system. It's just that the bad eggs seem to be getting more and more loud and brash nowadays. We still have good eggs in the judicial system, and I wish that the good eggs would stand against the bad eggs. And when something is wrong, when a carrier of the law, a keeper of the law, a custodian of the law, so to say, is misusing the law, it's those within the same jurisdiction. They should stand up against it and put a change to that and put an end to that miscarriage of justice or a misuse of the law. Thank you.
Okay, now, before we wrap up this particular story now, what's your advice to the federal government? You have been able to juxtapose their action with the request of Nnamdi Kanu. What's your advice to the federal government?
The federal government should do everything with equity. Kanu's case is both political and deals with a matter of national security. It is both. They should handle it as they will handle a normal matter of national security and not put politics into it. There should be no sentiment in such cases. It's like the current government and all government workers and parastatals, they are so sentimental nowadays. There should be no sentiment. You are public servants. You are public servant. That means you are here to serve the public, not the public serving you. But it's like the reverse is the case in this country. The public is serving the government instead of the government serving the public. So there should be no, when you are serving the public, you don't serve with sentiment. You don't serve with emotions. You don't serve when convenient. It's a job you are being paid to do. You do your job and you do it right. There's a constitution guiding everything in this country. So once the federal government is doing things that are against the constitution, then that is a huge red flag. In fact, I'll call that a bloody red flag for the citizens of the country. So the federal government has to be careful and caution themselves. Do everything within the confines of the law. Thank you.
Okay, one more question before we wrap it up here. You know, you said the judiciary, the law is no longer the hope of the common man. But then, can the judiciary actually operate, deliver their duties without interference from the federal government? Is it really possible for them? Because now you have dished out your advice to the federal government. What about the judiciary? Can they actually operate independently without being disrupted by the federal government?
The question should not be, can they operate independently? Because yes, they can. The question should be, why is the judiciary not operating independently?
Well, I wouldn't want to say that because it will be an...
Because a lot of things going on in the judiciary nowadays, especially, it pains and it saddens me and it hurts me when I see the judiciary is something so respected. I grew up wanting to be a lawyer or a judge. I so much respected that profession, and it saddens me to see them reduced to sentimental people who are just, they are supposed to be impartial. The judiciary should be impartial in everything. They should focus on the cold hard facts and evidence before them. But every single thing I've seen about the judiciary in Nigeria this past few years has been tainted with sentiment, emotion, and partisan politics. And it's not supposed to be. They should be independent. They must be independent. If we want to see the court as the last hope of the common man again, then the judiciary has to truly be independent. Because right now, I cannot tell you that they are independent.
Now, who is to be blamed? The government, the judiciary, or the constitution?
Everybody. The whole nation, for allowing it to get this bad. For not standing up when we had the chance. For not fighting when we had the chance to fight. It's not too late to fight now. It's just that it's going to be tougher. It's going to be harder. We're going to fight with our votes in 2027 to bring sanity and restore order to the system. Because right now, the system is not how it's supposed to be.
All right, viewers at home, I believe you're enjoying the conversation. Because of our time, we just moved to the very last story here that says Senate may vote real-time electronic result transmission. Debate committee reports today. Senate may vote real-time electronic result transmission. Debate committee report today. Senate may take a decisive step towards tightening Nigeria's electoral process ahead of the 2027 general election with real-time electronic transmission of results at the center of far-reaching amendments to the Electoral Act. The proposed provision, which mandates the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to electronically transmit results from polling units directly to INEC Result Viewing Portal, IREV, immediately after vote counting, will be debated clause by clause today when Senate considers the report of the Committee on Electoral Matters. The report scheduled for plenary consideration was laid before senators yesterday, following a motion by Senate leader Senator Peyemi Bamidele Ekiti Central, who urges colleagues to study the document ahead of deliberations on what he described as a highly sensitive piece of legislation. Bamidele, with the approval of President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, disclosed that a brief closed-door session would precede the Committee of the Whole consideration to allow senators to exchange views on the report before final debate. Now, a copy of the committee's report obtained yesterday indicated that a new subsection 3 had been inserted into the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2025 specifically to curb manipulation of results and incident of ballot box snatching. The new provision states unequivocally, INEC shall electronically transmit election results from each polling unit to the IRF portal in real time, and such transmission shall be done simultaneously with the physical collation of results. This is what Nigerians were clamoring on last election.
Yes, that is true. That is true. This is what Nigerians were clamoring for in the last election. But now Nigerians no longer have hope because we saw what happened with the IRF. Network failure, IRF suddenly turned off, a lot of technical issues. Is it going to be more of the same in 2027? That's what Nigerians are asking right now. If you ask me personally, in my own opinion, it's 50-50. It could work and it may still be the same old story. This is Nigeria. Anything can happen.
It could be 50-50. It is 50-50. So why do you say it is 50-50?
Because there's no more confidence in the federal government and all its parastatals to actually deliver credible, fair and fair elections. So it doesn't matter whether you pass electronic transmission. It's an electronic transmission. Anything can be manipulated. That's what I want us to understand first, that it is that it has been transmitted electronically in real time does not mean it cannot be manipulated. So don't let anyone fool you about that. And this is Nigeria, where anyhowness is used to make miracles happen. We don't make miracles happen in Nigeria for the good of the nation. We make it happen for the selfish interest of an individual. And what I'm trying to say now is that 50-50 means that the government might surprise me. INEC might surprise me. And we would have the first credible and fair elections that we've had in a while in this country. And I'd be happy for it. My soul will bless them. I'm sure even Nigerians will bless them. But it's more of 50-50. I'm adopting a wait and see attitude first.
So
let's wait and see
INEC
2027. Let's wait and see 2027 first.
Okay, now is the Senate genuinely committed, looking at Nigeria now as a whole from the past experiences we have had so far? Is the Senate genuinely committed to electoral transparency, or is this amendment a cosmetic reform designed to calm public outrage ahead of 2027? You did mention that the public has actually lost trust in the government and even in INEC. So how do you see this move by the Senate?
Well, whether the Senate is committed or not, that is not the business of the citizens of Nigeria. What they need is for the law to be passed and to actually be enforced rightly. It's not about just passing, it's not about the legislation. The IRF was a legislation concerning the IRF not passed in 2023. Did we not see what happened with the IRF at the end of the day? So it's not about the legislations itself. It's not about whether the Senate is committed. It's about, will the legislation, when passed, will it be enforced to the letter? And will the passing of the legislation, will the adoption of the things within the legislation, will it actually favor the common man? Will it actually make our votes count? That is the question we are asking. Whether the Senate is committed or not is none of our business. If they like, they should be committed. If they like, they should not be committed. The chickens will come home to roost one day for everyone, including the Senate themselves.
But then, can INEC really, realistically deliver this real-time transmission nationwide, given Nigeria's connectivity issues, problem network issues, or are we just legislating idealism over reality?
Well, if we're going to talk about the Nigerians' connectivity issue and everything, there are solutions to that. We live in a digital age. We live in a world of this. I know this is not a comedy program. We live in a world of technology. I want to use that word, technology, meaning that technology has superseded a lot of things. There's a solution to every problem. Whatever network issues we're going through here in Nigeria, I see it as wickedness on the part of the government that they are not being serious about solving these technical issues for the country. Because the truth of the matter is, it's easy to solve. It takes political will, and yes, they will spend money, but they will solve it. So now it's up to INEC. Does INEC really want a reform? Or they want to be using the same old excuses? That's why I said 2027 will tell. So it's a wait and see attitude and see what they will do.
All right, viewers, this is we'll be wrapping up the show. Yes, we want to thank you so much for staying with us. But before we wrap it up, what's your parting remark to the viewers at home. Yes, with respect to all what we discussed this morning on the Confab.
Well, dear esteemed viewers, thank you for joining us on the Confab. Yes, sir. These topics that we have discussed, we would like to hear from you. What is your opinion to? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm not saying that I'm right, neither will I say that I'm wrong. This is my opinion. This is what we do on the Confab. We dissect these matters, we analyze them, and we give our opinion on what we believe is the best way to go about things or what the solution should be. So you can join the conversation in our comment section too. You can contact us on 09166349956. You can send us an email at esteemradiovision@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, but the most important thing is for you to follow us, like and share this program so that other people can see it and they can join in the conversation too. Don't forget that you can also subscribe to us on YouTube at Esteem Studio. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, our esteemed viewers. Thank you for staying with us this long. And don't forget that tomorrow, this program, The Confab, will be making a return to you. So stay loyal to Esteem Radio Vision. Just like you said, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Esteem Radio Vision and on YouTube at Esteem Studio. Thank you once again. Alright, at this point, we also want to appreciate our CEO in the person of the King Michael Ajiboye Ashaulo, the founder of Eniakbonle Foundation and Esteem Radio Vision, and also to our producer, Ayomiko. Thank you so much. Until I come your way again, I still remain Chidinma Abel. Bye for now.